I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Producer Kate is in the duck, making sure everything's running smoothly, and we are ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot to talk about, and, coming off the holidays, a lot of times, you're like, you don't know if it's going to be kind of a slow drip for a while, getting back into the swing of things, or if it's just going to be a boom, bang, pow, here we are ready to rock. And that's kind of how it's been. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about some topics from the Muncie, Delaware County political scene. We're going to be talking about some Henry County politics, and involving the Henry County politics, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be, for the first time this year, going to be talking about a Sproles Watch 2025. Sproles Watch 2025. We do have some Sproles information that we're going to bring your way while we're talking about the Henry County stuff. We are going to be doing a little bit, just a teaser on some Madison County news. Our contributing correspondent, Catherine, is back from vacation, but she has to do some of the returning home stuff. So we're actually not going to have her on until Thursday. So we're going to tease a little bit of what we're going to be talking about on Thursday, because it popped up in the newspaper over there today. So we want to get that out. And then we're going to end with a little bit of State House news. And we're going to start out with it just so we get it out of the way. State House is going to be busy tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of the 2025 session. Yay. It's exciting, right? No, it's not exciting. They suck. It's horrible. And the Indiana General Assembly is going to be really interesting to watch what they do versus what they don't do. I guess I should have said what they don't do versus what they actually do this year. And it's going to be really telling. Hey, where is the bill on this property tax? Right, Braun? Where's this property tax bill that you promised? Rob Kendall? Where is this property tax? Where's J.D. Prescott? Where is all this stuff coming through and bringing in the property tax? We'll be waiting to see, and we'll be keeping an eye on all of that. Hey, before we get into everything tonight, I want to ask you to just quickly do the things. If you could, click the buttons, give us a like, share the show with everyone you know, hit the bell, do all of that stuff. If you're watching live, it would be grand if you could comment over in the comment box and let us know you're here. If you're watching in the future, comment down below. But do all of those things that you know that you're supposed to do. It really helps us out, helps us with the YouTube algorithms and whatever algorithms you're on. If you can like us, and yada, 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 yada. Okay. Beyond that, I did just post a breaking news just a little bit ago on social media. And if you want to watch us on social media, if you want to follow, oftentimes you can find out what I'm going to be talking about earlier if you will be watching what we're doing on my social medias, which is TikTok and Facebook and all of that stuff. So you can see that there. There's our YouTube link, our Rumble link, our Facebook, the two Facebooks, the Political Spotlight 318 and Bilbrey 318, and then the X is Bilbrey Live. You can find our studio line and then the emails there. So use that to find out what we're doing. And yeah, we're going to go there. I thought Karen's post said, "Hello, white people." I was reading something on the side and I was like split eye reading. "Hello, Larry. Hello, hello there, Alva and everyone else." And I thought Karen said, "Hello, white people." I just thought, wow, she's really coming with it. Hello, white people. How do you know? Okay. So, doop-de-doop-doop-doop. Is there a way... Is there a way, Kate? I don't want you to kill me. I could help you. I could take some of them and you could take some of them. Is there a way that we could split up those 7 pictures of those things and put them in the overlays of the claims? So I'm going to send them to you.
I have them. I'll get it.
You got them already?
I got them all. I'll get them.
Wait, do you have what the way I did it though? Or do you have them from what you took?
Oh, just send them to me.
I cleaned it up a little bit to make it a little bit easier because there were some errors that I noticed. So let me send you this here. 6. Oh, I guess I lied to you. There's 12, not 7. Are we looking at county claims? Well, we're going to be looking at county claims. So let me ask you how you want to do this, friends and people. And I know for a fact that we have some people that are here that are definitely watching clandestine. They're watching. They're not going to be. I know we have some people that are watching and they're not commenting and things like that, which is fine. And look, I'm cool if you want to watch the show live. If you want to watch the live show and comment, if you want to watch the live show and not comment, if you want to watch it in the morning, I'm fine with all of that. It does not matter. So the people that are commenting, though, they're going to get to pick on this. And I'm going to ask you how you want to do this. So we can really do it either way you want to do it. I'm here to please. We've got content from Delaware County. You know what? I lied. I'm not going to give you the way. I'm not going to give you the way. Kate's putting that stuff in. Hello there. Hello there, Larry, sir. What we're going to do is I'm going to start out with the breaking news. How about we do that? We're going to start out with the breaking news. We're going to get this out of the way. This won't take very long, and then we'll get on to the rest of the show. The really big show. Okay. So we're going to start out with the breaking news, and this is from Delaware County. Last night, while I was live doing the show, if some of you might remember that I said that I received an email, and I was looking off in my book, and I said, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to keep talking, and then at the end, before we go into the Muncie City Council, I wanted you guys, Kate, everybody, to help remind me that I had an email that I wanted to read you. Well, it was kind of like God's plan that I forgot, Kate forgot, and all of you forgot. Because as I was going along thinking, I wanted to double check that I could release the email before I actually read it. And so thank God we all slipped on it, because I would have been fine. I now know that I would have been fine to put it out, but I actually was able to reach out today and find out that if it was okay to release. So just a few short minutes ago, before we went live, I released on Facebook. Some of you may have seen this already, but I released this. And I know this is going to be difficult for you to see. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, because Kate is working hard on putting those things in the overlays, I'm actually going to put this thing in the overlays so she doesn't have to, because I want you guys to be able to see this. I'm going to read it to you, but I want you to be able to see it as well. So give me just one moment here. And I'm not going to make it, I won't interfere with Kate's stuff. I'm not going to put a number on this, so you will be able to see. This will make it real easy. It'll be real easy. Okay. Hey, it looks like you've got all 12 of those in there. Kick ass. Okay, you're awesome. Okay, thank you very much for that, Kate. I know it was a pain in the ass. Okay, so breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I received this last night. This was an email that went out yesterday at 5:07 p.m. on Monday, January 6th. And it's pretty big news. Okay, this doesn't make it very much easier. You can't see it much better. You can go to my Facebook if you want to see this, folks. So that's why that's important. Okay, so this email is from Bradley Bookout, Mr. Brad Bookout. And it was sent to, I have redacted where it was sent. It was sent to a bunch of manufacturers and businesses in Delaware County. I'll say that. And it was sent from Mr. Bookout on Monday, January 6th, 2025 at 5:07 p.m. And this is what it says. Caution, external message. Dear friends, with a heavy heart and after much contemplation, I am emailing you to let you know that Augusta Consulting has chosen not to submit renewal contracts to Delaware County, Indiana for economic development and redevelopment services, or to the ECI, which is East Central Indiana Regional Planning District, for 2025. Through Augusta Consulting collaboration with these organizations, it has been an honor to have helped them reach their goals in various capacities over the last 15 years. My mobile number will stay the same, but my primary email will be bbookout@augustaconsulting.llc.com. The bookout at ecirpd.org email will no longer be active. Please make this change in your contacts. This decision did not come lightly, but after much thought and consideration of many factors, it became clear that this was the best decision. Despite this, and now in a private capacity, Augusta Consulting remains active in all faculties of economic development, foreign direct investment attraction, site location, business development, redevelopment, brownfields, and much more. Our skills and our utilization of Lenny, that would work for this same guy too, Brad Lookout. Either one would work. Our skills and our utilization of trusted team members to see through the multitude of business development projects remains extensive, and Augusta Consulting remains available to engage on any of these platforms. If in the event you need assistance or are aware of an entity that could utilize our services, please don't hesitate to reach me. In summary, I look forward to staying engaged with you, and please feel free to reach me for any needs. Best regards, Brad Bookout. There you have it. Now, this was an email that went from Mr. Bookout to people in like Muncie businesses, Delaware County businesses. So think like people at like Magna Corp, or think like people at Mersix, or larger people, businesses that would go to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission seeking money or things like that from the county, and yada, yada, yada. So basically what Bookout is saying here is that he is no longer going to be in that position. And it's not just him. It sounds like he's saying his company. One of the things, and so for those of you that don't know, the reason, why am I talking about this? Well, for those of you that might not know, Brad Bookout has recently, in the last election, won election to the Delaware County Council, and he is now a Delaware County Councilor. For the last 15 years, Bookout has been a contract employee of the Delaware County government and the East Central Indiana Redevelopment Planning, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And he's been in that position because of all of the contacts that he made when he was on the Delaware County Council the first time, more than 12, 15 years ago, when he was a Democrat and he was on the board. He then got out and he was in private business. He then had multiple contracts with Delaware County where he made hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I listen to what I'm telling you. Because of his contracts with Delaware County, he made hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And then last February, for some unknown reason, he put his name in the ring, threw his hat in the ring, threw his name in the hat, whatever you want to say, threw his name in the hat and the hat in the ring to run for Delaware County Council. And he ended up winning, this time as a Republican. So he's one of those guys that was a Democrat. Amazingly, now he's a Republican. And he is now an at-large member of the Delaware County Council. And he is newly elected, but he has some know-how. He's definitely not part of the good guys team. He's part of the old machine that does things a certain way, that they don't like, transparency and communication and accountability. They like to do things behind closed doors, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so this has been a worry. How is he going to be a Delaware County Councilor and have these crazy lucrative contracts. So at the first council meeting last Thursday morning, I actually sent in that question, and I asked, and the council read it off. Thank God. Councilor Matt Kantz asked him to answer like what was going to come of the contracts, and did he think that sitting on the council and holding those contracts would be a conflict of interest. To which he responded, the contract expired on the 31st of December, and there currently is no contracts right now. And so there currently at this time is not a conflict. Now, that was Thursday the 2nd. And then we get through, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then yesterday, the 6th, we saw the impressive display of good governance on behalf of Delaware County newly elected Commissioner Stephen Brand. He came in and just absolutely was boss. Okay. And so I don't know if that had anything to do with this. I don't know. It's really strange because literally everyone that I have talked to, and I've talked to people at the state level, I've talked to people at the local level, I've talked to people in government in different counties that have all said the same thing. We are shocked that he does not have a seat in the Braun administration. Yes, he is definitely still connected to the Innovation Connector. That's where his business is out of. His business is housed in the Innovation Connector. That's where Augusta Corp is. That's where their home base is there. So I don't know. There are people out there that are questioning, well, he didn't get a nod to, come up to the state level here in the first round, but will we see him at some point get called up to the governor's administration in some way or some form? That's a possibility. Okay. I mean, look, I'm going to tell you what I was told, and I believe this with every being of my fiber of my being, maybe. I don't know. I think I said that backwards. It's because my glasses are not on. Okay, there we go. Every fiber of my being. There we go. All right, now I can see it clearly. In about July of last year, I was in a position where I was with someone who had overheard a conversation between Bookout and Jessica Piper. And the conversation that they had was talking about being sick of hearing people talking about Augusta Consulting being a conflict of interest for Bookout if Bookout was a councilman. And the response that he got from Jessica Piper was, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a problem. So he was told, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a problem. And that was interesting to me because I didn't know how he and she were going to get around that. And then there were all these talks about how, well, it's really in his wife's name, so it's going to be his wife doing it. No. That is still a conflict. It is a problem. So, we thought about this. Then, then this comes out. This email comes out. And now to my knowledge, as of right now, I don't know that he has actually notified anyone in the county of this. Maybe he has. I don't know. This email that I put up there for you guys just was an email sent from Bookout to businesses, manufacturers in Delaware County. Now, I fully believe that, he didn't make this announcement without telling somebody, do when I say the commissioners, the commissioners, meaning because right now we're in a situation where there's a divide. There is a commissioner that is a good guy, and there are two other commissioners that we're waiting to see if they jump on the train or if they lay down on the tracks. We don't know where they're going to be. So did he talk to Sherry? Which I don't see him talking to Sherry. Did he talk to Shannon Henry and tell Shannon Henry? I believe he probably did. Did he talk to John Brook? I believe he probably did. Now, I have also heard that there was some kind of an attempt to delay the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting, which is supposed to take place on Thursday, this coming Thursday, because normally Bookout would be there and leading the show and would be the director over in the seat. But I don't know why. I don't know any information about this. I just know that there was some pushback. There was some pushback. Push. And the Redevelopment Commission meeting is still going to happen now as scheduled this Thursday. So we don't know who's going to take over for Bookout. It's going to be interesting. Now the question becomes, does this mean Bookout's trying to do the right thing here and separate any kind of conflict of interest and make sure there is no conflict of interest? Are we going to give him that, like, all right, attaboy, you did the right thing? Or are they trying to do something funky behind the scenes where all of a sudden there's this new corporation that crops up and they're going to do it? And, time will tell. Okay. I'm not in a position where I feel like I can give him the benefit of the doubt yet. It sucks. Sorry, Bookout. Sorry. But because of the people that you roll with and because of things that's happened in the past and because of, this and that, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. I apologize, but that's just how it is. So we'll see. Time will tell. We'll watch and find out what happens. Is this just going to be one more thing that John Brook runs and gets big money for? Probably, I don't know. That definitely shouldn't happen. But yeah, that's where we are for right now. And that's kind of what's going on. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the long run, who steps up to the plate and who takes over for Augusta Consulting. Is it a legitimate new business? Is it some backhanded thing? I mean, listen, $200,000 a year is a hard thing to just walk away from. So time will tell, but that's where we are for right now. If you want to read this document, if you want to see this document in greater detail, it is currently on my Facebook page. You can see it there on Facebook. And so it is there for you to see. It is also out on X. So you can find it there on X as well. And so you can get get whatever you got to get there, see whatever you want to see if you want more information there. So you can check all of that out and see all of that. And we will continue to follow this as it comes. So that's what it's definitely not over. I don't believe that we're done talking about this. I think that there will be more to come from this, but that's where we are now. So, okay, moving on from there. Moving on from this, now we want to slide over just for those people in Henry County, for the those of you that are interested in the Sproles Watch 2025. First off, now we won't talk about Sproles real quick. I do want to make this announcement. So on January 1st at midnight, everybody is familiar from the Henry County area that I see that, Lenny. Everybody is familiar that Bobbi Plummer, the commissioner, had to give up her commissioner seat because Huhn the Loon won, Susan Huhn. And that is a bad situation for people in Henry County. Susan Huhn won. That gives Sheriff Sproles 2 friends in the commissioner's office and 1 holdout. And so that means the Henry County Commissioner's Office right now is going to be led by Susan Huhn, Joel Wiley. They are Sproles fanboys and girls. And then the outlier is Steve Dellinger. And one of the things that was talked about back during the election, and listen, rightly or wrongly, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to tell you how it was. So, because I can hear people going crazy over this as soon as I say it. Susan Huhn has a plethora of children, which is lovely, wonderful. I'm all for the more the merrier. Excellent. No problem there. And it's a shitty thing because I know as soon as I say this, people are going to be like, wait, but you wouldn't say that about a man, would you? Well, let me tell you why. And I'm not talking about the children. I don't care about the children. It's got nothing to do with that. Somebody, not myself, someone, and I don't remember who this was. I don't know if it was the newspaper down there. I don't know if it was the Boss Hogs of Liberty. Somebody asked her about how she was going to juggle her responsibilities as a commissioner, because it's not only that she's a mother. It's like, wait, again, you wouldn't ask a man this, but she homeschools her children. And Kate's on here. And so Kate homeschools, and, she can break in if I'm saying anything crazy. And listen, I'm just reporting to you what I said, what I've heard. And the answer that she gave was, it's not going to be a problem. Okay. I figure there's lots of hours of the day. There's lots of ways you can figure this out. Well, it came to my attention, okay, that right around the 1st, Susan sent an email to her fellow commissioners, and I have put in a request for these emails because this has caused a big ordeal in Henry County government, and you'll find out why here in a second. She sent an email to her fellow commissioners talking about wanting to move her office from the small area where it's at in the commissioner's office with the other commissioners, to this other office down the hallway that is larger and has more space. And the reason that she gave for wanting to move this room was because she intended to bring her children to the county building every day and homeschool them there. And you can imagine all of the other, listen, I'm not bashing her for being a mother. I'm not bashing her. I love the idea of homeschooling. I'm all on board for that. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. But I'm standing up for all of the other mothers that work in the county building that are like, wait a minute. We want to bring our children to school and homeschool. We can't do that. I can't bring my kid here. Can I bring my kid and Susan homeschool them for me? Which, to be honest, I really wouldn't want that. But, right. So that set the government on fire down there. They all went crazy, and apparently it was a big deal. There's been a big push. Apparently, yeah, right, Brenda. I would think that that would be an issue. Sure, absolutely. So I don't really know where we are with this. That defeats the point of homeschool. Right? Everybody's like, wait a minute. Why don't you bring your children here? Your children are fine. Susan, you stay at home. That would probably be better. So I don't know where we are. I know that at one point this was actually going to be an agenda item that was going to be on the agenda this Wednesday. And Teresa here has the comment of the night. I'm tired of these politicians that run for office and then complain that it's taking too much of their time. Ta-da, don't run. Yeah, it's not that hard. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a regular human being that is not an elected official. You'll be all right. You will make it. Not everybody's cut out to be a public servant. Some people don't have that in them. Okay. For various reasons. So yeah, I think that's gross too. So we're going to have to wait and see what happened there. I did issue a records request and I am looking for what happens. In other news, Susan becoming commissioner, what that's done is it left open her seat because she was a counselor. So she vacated her council seat to become the commissioner. And last night, Monday, January 6th, 2025, the Henry County Republicans held a caucus. And I know there were two candidates. There might have been three, but there were definitely two. The two candidates that I was aware of was Ed Tarantino, the former one-term, I think he was a former one-term county commissioner, who then didn't run for re-election, and he vacated his seat. And so he put in for the caucus. And then so did Bobbi Plummer. Now, Bobbi Plummer was the commissioner that Susan beat. And Bobbi Plummer is very strong in her desire to keep track and tabs on what exactly it is that Sheriff Sproles is spending. Keep Sheriff Sproles spending. Run that by new insurance company. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Come back with that comment. Charlize. Okay. All right. Wait. Because keep the insurance company in your mind. Run that by the new insurance company. See how the risk adverse they would be in light of all the other. Yeah. Well, And keep that in your mind, everybody, because we're going to be talking about that in just 1 second. Okay. So Bobbi Plummer put in for the caucus, and I am happy to announce that Bobbi Plummer won the caucus. So it's almost like Bobbi and Susan just did a trading places. Commissioner Bobbi Plummer is now going to be Councilor Bobbi Plummer, and Councilor Susan Huhn the loon, is now going to be a crazy woman in the commissioner seat. Listen, and I don't mean that because she's a woman, she's crazy. I mean, she is a woman who is crazy. You could be a man who is crazy. She's not crazy because she's a woman. She's a woman who is just crazy. And I mean crazy by meaning I'm not a mental health practitioner, so I'm not talking about her mental health. I'm talking about she just doesn't have an effing clue on how to govern or what to do or you know, I just completely nuts. Okay. Now, on to the Sproles Watch 2025. It's been a minute since we've had any good Sproles news or Sproles tidbits. And this tidbit came to me from a source that I gotta say has proven themselves to be really on top of things. And I have to say I am very grateful for my connections that I have made in Henry County. Henry County has some absolute crazy shit that they face always, and it's an uphill battle, and Sproles is you know, a whack job. And so it's like all hands on deck, specifically now that Susan Huhn is in the commissioner's seat. I heard right before the election that Sproles had made the comment that he had bought some cars that the commissioners were not aware of, and he couldn't wait until they found out about it because they were going to be pissed. And he was like joking. Like, he just continues buying things without getting the approval first. And now it's going to be one of those things where they're just going to be like, oh, it's no big deal. And she'll just let him have the pass. Wiley will let him have the pass. I hope Wiley wakes up. But as of right now, he's all on board. So that's not a good thing. And we really got to pray for Dellinger and hope that he can keep strong, because he is going to be swimming in shit. Really just swimming in shit. Now, Stumblefoot, you're talking a dangerous talk there, my guy. Ketchup can go on anything. I am never more than just a little bit away from a bottle of ketchup. So don't be talking about my ketchup. Now, that is amazing that I was able to just pull ketchup out of my ass like that. Is that not amazing? Like, look at that. I was able to pull ketchup. Are you a ketchup person? Kate's saying no. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like is that a black magic woman, or is she a black magic woman? I know, right? Yeah. That's like, we went to an auction one time, my ex-wife and I, and they were talking about auctioning off a black man's umbrella. And my wife's like, what? How do they know it's a black man's umbrella? And oh, good Lord. Okay, so moving on. The Sproles Watch. Here, right before Thanksgiving. So let me say it like this. Does anybody recall? I think you're eating. Are you eating? I might need your help for a second. Like, pop up here if you can.
Well, right now there's a raging debate in the comments about ketchup versus hot sauce on eggs.
Oh, okay. Let's stop the Sproles watch here real quick because I can answer this easily. I can do either one. I like hot stuff and I like hot sauce. I can do hot sauce on eggs, but it would be hot sauce with ketchup on eggs.
Yeah, I'm of the class of neither.
Okay.
Cheese.
Well, you could do cheese and hot sauce and ketchup.
Oh, God.
You know, one of the things I don't like casseroles. I just don't like that. I don't even like the word. Okay. I could make a year's worth of podcast just about hating the word casserole. But one of the only that word that I like is this breakfast casserole that is eggs and hash browns and onions and peppers and bacon or sausage or bacon and sausage. And the best thing you do is you get that with cheese on top of it and you kind of mix it all up and then you just put ketchup across it and then eat it just all up. And
there are very few things I really ketchup on. I think it's sickly sweet.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful because it does.
And I mean, we got picante sauce with Alva down here for our Louisiana.
Yes. Yes.
See, my kids are all about doing eggs frittata and putting Parmesan in the egg and then cooking it.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say.
But
yes, I knew that somebody would bring up the ketchup and mayo crap.
Oh.
And amazingly, it's GW, and that makes so much sense. I've heard that's like a really, like, I guess strictly Midwest, maybe just Indiana thing. Mayo and I do not like mayo. I cannot do any kind of mayo. That's not good.
No, I did learn in Germany that I do like French fries dipped in mayonnaise.
It's a Southern thing. Tweety Bird. I knew Tweety Bird would say it. That made sense.
Anyway,
no, okay.
Back to Sproles. I'm sorry. They were having a lively chat about that.
No, that's important. And Teresa is right. Chris eats like a 9-year-old. And that is very true. If I go to Puerto Vallarta, I have been to Puerto Vallarta in the last year. And sometimes I go and I'll get like tacos. I'm not a big Mexican fan. But I have been to Puerto Vallarta in the last year and had the Dino chicken nuggets. And you should see those Mexican guys just giggle when I order it. Like it makes their day.
My kids won't eat those. We have to make them homemade from scratch. You're spoiled. I cook.
Yeah, right. All right, back to Sproles. So, thank you. Oh God. They should giggle. Yeah, that's right, Tweety Bird. Okay, so the Sproles deal here, and so do you recall Sproles talking about the fact that what are a couple of things when people would ask Sproles, like when Steve Brown would ask Sproles, or people from the community would ask Sproles, or I've even remembered Dellinger, I think at one point asking him, when people would ask him about like, well, you've caused all of this. What are a couple of the things that he would say frequently, like talking about, I'm going to set you up here. The lawsuits being frivolous, right?
Yeah, the lawsuits are frivolous. They haven't paid out any money and they're not going to.
They haven't paid out. He was looking for his day in court, couldn't wait for his day of court because he was going to defeat every one of these lawsuits.
And it wasn't going to cost anybody any money.
Yeah.
And it was all just nonsense, and he's wonderful.
Okay. So, you recall that. Now, I'm hoping that the listeners will recall that as well, that Sproles would say things like that it was ridiculous. They were frivolous lawsuits. I mean, damn, going as far as calling the one where the woman was locked up in the jail cell, like naked and being tased, and they were saying like violently sexual things to her. It was really, really, really gross.
Forcing her to remove a tampon in the cell.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And it was just crazy, some of the things they were doing to her. And he went as far as calling that one frivolous too, which is just completely asinine. It just shows how ignorant he is. So I'm glad that people know
so
that.
Alva's he's remembering. Good. He said it multiple times.
Yes. He has said that multiple times. Yes. He often
came up.
Yes, that's
a couple. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of the cases have been settled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which
means that there has been money paid out now.
Well, yes. And I want to clear the record here because a couple people. So even when there is a non-disclosure in a legal case that is settled, okay, there are a couple things that can be known.
Sorry.
You don't. No, you're fine. You don't always get the total amount that's paid out. If the governing body has to pay anything, like for example, in a lawsuit, sometimes there could be a situation where the insurance pays an amount of money because that's what they're there for. And then sometimes lawsuits can be settled like one of a couple ways. The insurance can pay all the money, and that's just that. The government could pay all the money, and that's that. Or they could pay like a
deductible.
A deductible, the insurance pays and the county pays some. So or the city or the town or whatever, the state.
Whoever.
So when the city or the county or when the governmental entity pays, you can always find out how much money they paid because they can just give you a check. That's a public record, so you can find that out. You can also go find out as much as like, did they settle? Was it adjudicated? So there are things that you can find out. Okay, that's when a suit settles. If they settle out of court, you find that. If they go to court and it goes all the way through, then there is no non-disclosure act and everything's public.
Right.
There's also lawsuits like my Winchester lawsuit. There was no public non-disclosure, so we could talk about it all day. Okay. That being said, if somebody files a tort claim notice, and
a tort claim is just kind of giving notice that
it's like
might sue you. I'm getting ready to sue you.
Yeah. When you're wronged by the government, you can file. In state government, you have to file a tort claim notice. So you have to file tort claim notice, then you file the lawsuit. In federal, you can file the tort claim or you can file the lawsuit, whichever one. I've never messed around with filing a tort notice. We just file the lawsuit because everything I've ever done like this has been in federal court because they've always been federal.
A tort notice isn't actually a lawsuit. Then.
A tort notice is not actually. It's just a notice of I've been wronged. Here's what happened. And I have intentions of suing you. You need to save everything related to this. We may be going to court. And anybody can file. anyone can file a lawsuit. Anyone can file a tort claim notice. Just because they're filed don't mean anything's going to happen. A lot of times they can have frivolous things. There are such situations like that, but all the stuff that was happening with Sproles was so back to back to back, and they were all so very similar, it just, everything, it was just, it seemed he was so egregious in everything that he was doing that it just, what was happening was not frivolous. It was him just being crazy, doing things that was way out of pocket. Okay. So there were a couple of tort claims that have settled. And what that means is, before there have been any legal wrongdoings, what that's like is, that's like me driving down the road. What?
That's like blackmail.
Blackmail, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of.
Like,
where
like
I come to you and say, hey, I have these pictures, or hey, I have this thing, and I give you give me money to make me shut up and go away.
I would say more like, it's more kind of like, I'm driving down the road.
Blackmail.
Yeah. I'm driving down the road and I hit you in your car, and I get out and I'm like, hey, we don't need to call the police. We don't need to involve the insurance companies. How about I give you a couple $100 and you go on down the roadway? That's kind of like what this is. Okay. It's paid before before anybody gets involved.
Any public record.
Yeah. And when that happens, the settlement cannot be disclosed. As a matter of fact, disclosing the settlement can be actionable if it's disclosed. It can actually reverse the stuff, so they cannot talk about it. Okay. Matter of fact, you're not even supposed to know who it was, or there's supposed to be no knowledge of it. Nothing is.
You can't even know that my tort case was settled.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't know who or what. You can take some guesses, and there's nothing wrong. Like, I can tell you all day long that the two tort claims that I think were settled, I'm going to tell you right now, I think that the two tort claims that were settled was the bus guy, Winston, Roger Winston, from up in Milwaukee. We had him on the show. Awesome dude, the dance instructor. Matter of fact, he just got a hold of me not too long ago and was like, hey, I'd like to come on and shoot the shit with you and just talk. I was like, yeah, I'd love to have you on. The
Toxic
people love
Elite,
you.
right?
Yeah, Toxic Elite Dance Company. Yeah, those people. And they were back in the back conjuring, and it was a whole big thing. It was the black men had something out for the white guy.
He was there to help his people.
Yeah. Yeah, our people's there to help your people. Yeah.
And they were sex trafficking the kids.
Sex trafficking
who
kids.
were all wearing uniforms and carrying trophies from their win at the competition. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So it's my strong belief that settled out of court. I don't know how much. I don't know. I just
don't even know that it did.
I don't know that it did. Here's what I know. I do know the people that filed various things, and I know who appears to not be there anymore. Okay. So I have the belief that Roger Winston filed, and I do have the strong belief that the other Roger Humphrey, the police officer, the black cop in there who was going there to help his people and do all of that. Hey, maybe they were all together. Now if the conspiracy grows. No, but I think those two people settled. I think, and here's what I mean by that. I mean, Sproles settled with them. And I'm going to tell you why, because other than the shooting of the beanbag into the prison guy, the inmate's leg. What? Marquest Higgins. No, not Higgins.
Neil.
Marquest Neil. Yeah. Marquest Neil. Other than that, the shit with the bus and the cop were the most racist things that Sproles did. And I think that the people in Sproles' life, attorneys and whatnot, said, dude, shut up. We're making this go away. And I think that's what happened there. And that's just my opinion. I have nothing that makes me think that, other than I'm just thinking, like, if I was Sproles and I had done all that dumb shit, I would have wanted that to go away. You know what I mean? Because that does not make him
though, remember his wife has black friends, so he can't be racist. So he would have gone to court over it.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah.
The people around him,
yeah.
probably don't want that.
So already he's broken what he said. They have settled some money, and I don't know how much money. It could have been a lot of money.
Probably after those interviews, though, wasn't it?
Sure.
Okay, so to be fair, at the time,
that
was perfectly truthful.
Yeah. Right. Okay, then on top of that, then he has said, like, okay, well, whatever happened with those, the lawsuits, we're going to get our day in court. We're not paid out nothing. We're not paying anything out. And somebody got a hold of me and said, because here's the thing, even Mrs. Huhn had said when she was running for commissioner, someone asked her about these lawsuits and asked her about, her defending Sproles, and she's like, well, we've not paid anything out, and he's not been found wrong and nothing's happening. And so someone said, I don't think that's exactly that correct. I think that what they are leading people to believe in Henry County is wrong. And so I was told that I might want to start digging around. Well, from doing what I do, I know that, well, the place that you want to look is you want to look at the claims. You want to look at the claims that the county's paying. And in this case, there's a couple of people that would be money would be going to. I can tell you right now, my lawsuit has not settled. We are still in court duking it out. We will have I assume we'll have a court date sometime. I remember when it seemed so far away. Now, it's almost March.
The judge was looking at both of your filings regarding
summary judgment.
And
so, to my knowledge, I've not talked to my attorney in a minute because there's nothing going on, and I don't make a habit of bothering him unless I just absolutely need to. But the last thing he said to me was that we would find out what the judge says when the judge says something. But until then, no news is no news. And it looks like as long as everything stays the way it is, we have a court date scheduled for sometime in March or April of this year. Okay. Or March or
PDQ.
Wait, or March or April of 2026. Which one was it?
I thought it was this year.
I don't know. I knew it seemed like forever away when we found out, but
it was this year.
Okay, it might be. I don't know.
I can't remember.
But the bottom line is, whatever happens, he said that court date will continue. But the bottom line is, nothing has been settled. Nothing's going on. We're still fighting it. And to my knowledge, no other lawsuits. No lawsuits have been dropped, and no lawsuits have been heard. Okay, thank you. I knew somebody would know. I knew Alva would know. I guess I should have said.
Alva knows everything.
The historian of this show. And so I know that no other lawsuits have been dropped, dismissed, or have been settled. Okay. So I knew, okay, I need to check the claims to see if Henry County, moreover the sheriff's department or the Henry County on behalf of Sproles, has paid money to any attorneys representing these clients. If they've paid money to the law, if they've paid money to the insurance company that was representing Sproles that actually dropped them, but has to still represent this in this matter, that being Travelers Insurance. So I issued a records request a while back, and Now, I want to tell you guys, somebody asked here, and I do want to answer this before we go. DJR Newcastle said, Christopher, so was GQ Johnny's lawsuit against ILEA frivolous? Yes, I most definitely believe if you want to talk about an actual frivolous lawsuit, yeah, I most definitely would say that was a frivolous lawsuit, and it was ridiculous. His son was kicked out of the academy for, I believe, cheating. And the fact that they found a way to worm him back in and to allow him to finish, I think, is just absolutely ridiculous. But that whole deal was tragic. And, I think that ILEA did the right thing in kicking him out. And I think that letting him come back in, I think that to me is what's horrible in this situation. So, all right. Now going back to this situation with these claims. So, I filed some record requests back before, New Year, or back before Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. And I received these claims. Now, I don't want to just throw them up on screen yet. Yes, sir. I do mean that specifically. I want to walk you through this slowly because I remember we were all amazed the judge set your date a year away. Yeah, and it was crazy at the time because at the time it was like a year away. And now here we are knocking on the door, and it's like, wow, hey, look, it's almost like we time traveled. It was just the other day that he gave us that court date, and it was like, 11 months away. And now here we are, like, 2 months away. Okay, so I received these claims, and give me a second here. I want to put this up on the screen here so that you guys can see, but I don't want to put the actual claim up yet. So give me one moment here and let me get this. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm not going to, I'll put the claim up here in a minute. So here's what I did. I went through these documents. I got this request, and then I finally got the documents, and I went through them. And here's what I found. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There were a total of 12 documents. And the documents were claims, and the claims were dated as such. They were dated August 31st, 2023, October 31st, 2023, December 29th, 2023, February 29th, 2024, March 29th, 2024, April 30th, 2024, May 31st, 2024, June 28th, 2024, July 31st, 2024, August 30th, 2024, September 30th, 2024, and November 27th, 2024. So there were 12 dates. Of those 12 dates, 11 of them had payments for that month, that claims for that month that needed to be paid. And there was one claim sheet that reiterated the charges. It was basically saying, so for example, they sent a claim sheet in May, and for whatever reason, those claims did not get paid. So in June, they sent a claim sheet saying, hey, we didn't get paid for these dates. So in June, it was just a double up saying, hey, you owe this money. But then there was also one additional claim on that. And so it was for a short amount of money. But then there was some late charges because they didn't get paid. So out of the 12 claims, 11 of them were things that were to be paid. Okay. It's very important to understand that. And there were different stuff on there. But what I wanted to look for specifically was my name, because I was told that Sproles and Henry County were paying out money due to my lawsuit. And I'm like, what do you mean? For what? And through my research, I found that they are having to pay this to the insurance company that no longer represents them. And it's costing Henry County lots of money. So this is what I found. In August 31st, 2023, Sproul's attitude and his actions with and this is just about my lawsuit, cost the taxpayers of Henry County $260. Woo. $260 more than it needed to. In October 31st, 2023, it cost the taxpayers $3,733. December 29th, 2023, it cost the taxpayers $2,074. February 29th, 2024, it cost the taxpayers $1,615. March 29th, 2024, it cost the taxpayers $1,173. April 30th, it cost the taxpayer of 2024, cost the taxpayers $680. May 31st, 2024, cost the taxpayers $2,057.88. July 31st of 2024, it cost the taxpayers $2,297.75. August 30th of 2024 cost $8,042. September 30th, 2024 cost the taxpayer $731. And November 27th, 2024 cost the taxpayers $1,802. And that is a grand total of my lawsuit with Sproles. And Sproles saying, oh, we've not had to pay anything out yet. Blah, blah, and soon saying, we've not paid anything out yet. Blah, 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 blah. It cost $24,465.63. But then I got to looking at the paperwork and I thought, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's some other names and numbers on this paperwork. So now I'm going to show you guys these documents as they exist. Okay. Here's the claims. Let's remove this box here. All these boxes. Oops, shit. Sorry. I don't know how to do it now. There we go. Sorry, I was like, where's the... Oh, I couldn't go down. I was trying to go up. Okay, here's the claim. Now, what you're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, says travelers. Up at the top, bill date. Says 8/31/2023. And the highlighted section is mine. But the other two things on here are two other lawsuits that also cost the taxpayers money. Okay, now let me show you something. Here's October's. Here's December's. Watch what starts to happen here. Here's February. Looks like we're getting more. Here's March. April. May. June. July. August. September. And November. Now, I'm going to walk you through this. Take mine off, okay? And you go back to August 2023. The other two claims on there came to $2,787.20. In October, it came to $4,220.60. So basically what that means is the two claims above the highlighted claim. So the highlighted claim is mine, and then there are two claims above it. And on this claim right here, not counting mine, the two claims above it came to $4,220.60. All right. The following month, in December, it cost the taxpayers $3,286.20. Okay. Then in February, it cost a grand total of $10,743.55. In March, it cost $4,484.40. In April, it cost $6,172.20. Okay. That's April. No, excuse me. That's April. Okay, then this is May. It's $26,184.88. Then in June, it cost in June it cost $2,034.20. In July, it cost $9,332.95. In August, it cost $11,387.60. In September, it cost $1,067,677.65. And then in November, it cost $2,677.60. So the grand total of all of these other guys' claims came to $58,444.20. Okay. Which makes the grand total of my claims and the other guy's claims. So John Sproles has cost the taxpayers of Henry County through his ignorant ass behavior $82,909.83. And this isn't including any settlements or anything like that. So from now on, and specifically, listen to me, folks, and please don't have a short-term memory about this. When you are talking to the candidates in 2026 when he's running for re-election, some of these lawsuits might not be over by then. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. Who knows? But all he had to do was not block me on social media because he wanted to act. Because John Sproles was in his feelings and was acting the way that, he acts, and decided to block me and others on social media, it's costing the taxpayers of Henry County $24,465.63. And listen, that's just through November. I don't know how much they paid out in December. I don't know how much they'll pay out this month. I'm going to have to just continue getting these every couple of months. But then everybody combined, listen, John Sproles has cost the taxpayers $82,909.83 just because he doesn't have self-control. Now, I have not posted these anywhere. When we're off tonight, I will get them posted to social media. I'll make a post about them. Everybody needs to talk about this. Post it everywhere. Post it literally everywhere, because people need to understand. Yeah, this cost is purely for litigation. And you know what? I have a sneaking suspicion, and I'm going to try to talk to the auditor's office about this, because let me tell you, I don't know what's going on in the other claims. I can only talk about the $24,000 that's because of me. I didn't talk to my attorney in November. There's literally nothing happened in November. So I don't understand why in November the attorney billed the insurance company, which then billed the county. Just look for my name right here, just the yellow highlighted thing. See what this says? I know it's hard because it's small, so I'm gonna pull mine up and look at it here. All of that is what she said. I know. Okay, look here. It says claim FYC Frank Young Charles 313. Date of loss 7/11/2023. Description: legal complaint for declaratory injunctive relief and damage alleging And then it says claimant, Kristopher Bilbrey. And then it says expense, $1,802.00. Claim total, $1,802.00. So I would like to know what is going on between John Sproles and his attorney that they are billing him
because Sproles is not like you.
Yeah.
Have you not done since you guys did the last filing?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
You don't contact your attorney and bug him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Sproles is going to be up his attorney's ass.
When was the last show we did on Sproles? I mean, when was that last document? I can tell you right here. Let me look at it here.
October, September.
Oh, it seems maybe September seems better.
September, maybe.
Let me look. I'm gonna look right here. I can look right here and tell you all because I'm still in the YouTube studio. So it looks as if the last show that we did on the Sproles paperwork, because remember, every couple of weeks we were doing like his document, then my document. Okay, it looks like the last time we did that was wow. Okay. Finally. Yep.
September 12th.
September 12th. That's right. So let me tell you, I talked to my attorney maybe a day or two before September 12th. So let's say September 10th. That's the last time I've talked to my attorney. I've sent in an email since then, but there's no reason to be on the phone to the attorney. But let me tell you what you do when you call your attorney and you bother them and you call them and you call them and you call them and you call them. Every time you do that, they're billing you. Okay? They're billing you. And so John Sproles, I don't know this, but this is just my guess that he's on the horn every other day to these guys saying, what are we going to do? What are we doing? How are we going to do it? And they're charging him for this because these are not massive charges, $260, 3,000. Let's see. What was the highest? Like August, man, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. August is $8,000. And counting, Charlize, and counting.
$8,000 in August makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the paperwork was filed at the end of August, beginning of September.
Yep.
So they were having to prepare all of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, that one makes sense for there to be that big of a charge.
And some of the earlier ones, yeah, it makes sense. I know in April of last year, I think it was, we had to go down and we were in what was it? It was a
mediation,
so
right.
That some of that stuff makes sense. But for them to I don't understand the monthly payment. It makes no sense. And it's not like it's a specific amount. If it was like every month it was $500, then I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's retainer, or they're paying something off because of whatever. But it's not. It's all over the place, and it's freaky numbers just all over. So it's got something to do. I'm telling you, I got to look more into this, and I got to find this out. But I just want the taxpayers of Henry County to know, because of his behavior, because of his bullheadedness, your sheriff has cost you $82,000, almost $83,000, and county. and counting. That's a lot of hash brown casserole. Those people must be, whoever that was like really late. So there's your Sproles news. I mean, that's a big to-do. I'm going to post that everywhere when we get off here. I'm going to make sure everybody sees it. I'm going to break this down and have it in a short so you guys can share around just the clipping because it needs to be everywhere. It's a big deal. So that's that. Okay. Moving out of Henry County. What have we talked about tonight? Let's see. We talked about Bookout. Okay. Let me get a quick beat on where we are here. Muncie, Delaware County, Henry County, Madison. Oh, yes. County, State House. Okay. So, let me bring this up to your attention here just briefly. This is going to take just a second. But this is definitely important. Now, we will talk about this more we will talk about this more on Thursday with Catherine, but this is very important, and people need to be aware of this. Let me make sure I'm logged in here. You know, it pisses me off. I went ahead. I didn't like doing it, but because of what we do here, I have a subscription that I pay for the Star Press. And I've got one for that ignorant ass paper in Henry County. But I went ahead and I did it for the Herald Bulletin too. And man, you don't understand how bad it pisses me off to have to do that. It really burns my ass to have to give them any amount of money because of how badly they suck. What do we got going on here? No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Here we are. So here is let me get this transferred over here. Let me get this blown up so you guys can see it. Looks like a decision has been made in the Madison County case between Rob Joswiak and Russ Willis. And it was the special prosecutor's office that made this ruling. Now, this is a funky ruling, and we'll just go down through this, okay? So it says Joswiak illegally denied right to watch vote count in Madison County primary. So it's because it's this idiot, Ken De La Batiste, cannot stand this guy. This is strange. He needed to say Willis illegally denied Joswiak the right to watch. It makes it look like Joswiak illegally did something here. I don't know. This is a horrible headline. All right, so we get down into the article. A special prosecutor has determined that Rob Joswiak, on the left here, was improperly denied the opportunity to watch ballots being counted during the May primary. Joswiak filed a complaint with the Madison County Election Board last June after Russ Willis, president of the election board, denied him access to watch counting of the ballots at the Madison County Government Center. The election board referred the complaint to the Madison County Prosecutor's Office, who is basically just incapable of handling anything. Then Madison County Circuit Court Division 6 Judge Mark Dudley appointed Angela Weber, a deputy prosecutor in Johnson County. Indiana State Police investigated the allegations. Weber said she didn't know whether Willis, Willis is wrong here, it needs to say Joswiak. Weber said she didn't know whether Joswiak was denied access because of ignorance of the law, which is no excuse, and applicable election board policy, or because Joswiak didn't have credentials. Either one is not okay. The judge goes on to say either reason is troubling and unacceptable. So listen here. The judge is saying why ever they denied him the ability to come in and watch this, it's wrong. She goes on to say the chairman of the election board should know the laws and policies concerning the election board. And here we see Russ Willis in younger days. He's not looked like this in 25 years. Okay? Either reason is troubling and unacceptable. The chairman of the election board should know the laws and policies concerning the election board. The chairman of the election board should also take reasonable steps to help a member of the public get the required credentials, especially when they are readily available, instead of curtly and dismissively denying a request to view the vote canvassing. So, wow, it looks like the judge, the prosecutor here, or whoever, I don't know, the prosecutor, I guess. It's not a judge. It's a special prosecutor. So the special prosecutor is saying that this is troubling. So the special prosecutor is saying, this guy's breaking the law. It's an F6 felony. Okay. The chairman of the election board should also take reasonable steps to help a member of the public get required credentials, especially when they are readily available, instead of curtly and dismissively denying a request to view the vote canvassing. So she's watched the videos. Based on the evidence produced in the investigation, it is indisputable that Willis denied Joswiak access to watch the canvassing of the votes, the prosecutor wrote in her findings. Indisputable. Wow. They're going to really slap Willis hard for this. During meetings of the election board, it was determined that Joswiak should have been permitted to view the canvassing votes, and amendments were made to the policy to allow citizens to observe the counting of the ballots. The paper says. The prosecutor says the election board responded appropriately. No, they didn't, because this had to be called to their attention, and they fought this kicking and screaming all the way. Weber said it made itself accountable to the public through transparency, no, and candor, no. In addressing Mr. Willis's error on May 7th, 2024, and it acted swiftly to ensure it doesn't happen again. I don't believe that's the case. We saw the trouble that prevailed just this last election. The special prosecutor's ruling brings the case to its conclusion. Willis faces no penalties or further actions. What? How in the hell can you have a special prosecutor writing the document the way that she was writing that, saying, yep, it's indisputable. Yep, they should have known, ignorance or either one's bad, ignorance or this or that. It's all bad. It's indisputable. This was illegal. But we are not going to formally charge Mr. Willis. So here's what I want to say. Yeah, right. As expected. Here's what I want to say. And I've got a problem with my eyes. I'm sorry. We're almost done. I got to take care of this. I feel like I got something in it and it's on fire. Anyways, my finger's in it. Here's what's crazy. What I want to happen is I want this case that's going to go before the election board, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. I want it to run its course, and I want it to go to this same prosecutor. I'm going to reach out to the prosecutor. I'm going to reach out to Weber. How do you know that? How do you know that, Janet? Was it set? Is there more documents someplace? I haven't seen that. I mean, look, if you're just assuming that, you're right. I very much believe that. Here's what I want. I'm going to bring to her attention, I'm going to write her an email tomorrow. Prosecutor Weber. And I want to bring to her attention the fact that there's another complaint against him that happened and let her know that. Because so first of all, it's an F6 felony, so she can always change her mind, and she has 5 years to make a determination. So I'm going to let her know that there's also another issue. I'm going to reach out to her. I'll email her tomorrow. I wrote that down. Did it say where she is an actual prosecutor from? Johnson County, maybe? Yeah, Johnson County. And we'll find out what the deal is. We'll find out what the deal is here. But this is gross. So she's like, everything. Yes, he was drunk and behind the wheel. Yes, he drove over 3 people. Yes, he left the scene of that accident while he drove over 3 people drunk. But when he got home, he parked his car in the garage. He went in and he threw away all of his booze, and he signed himself up for AA the next day. So we're not going to prosecute him. So that's all I'm going to go get into with that. Catherine and I will talk more about it on Thursday. Tune in Thursday if you want to hear more about that. That is absolutely gross. And Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, I've just got two more things I want to say before we go. And that is this. First off, whoops. Okay. I want to say this. Last night at last night's Muncie City Council meeting, Charlize Jameson stood up and spoke at the end and was talking about her dislike for a choice that Ridenour had made. And there were two choices. One was with Ryan Webb and one was with Ridenour himself. Now, it doesn't matter if I agree with the choice of Ryan, or I agree with the choice of Ridenour, or I agree with Jameson's opinions of Ryan or Ridenour or whatever. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. No one has to agree with my opinions. No one has to agree with your opinions. No one has to agree with Charlize's opinions. However, I will say that I will specifically say that Ridenour does get a lot of blame. I don't understand how he makes a lot of his picks for these boards. Okay. Talking about the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. Talking about, just any board, period. Ridenour made us a promise to pick the very best people for these positions. And we've seen from day one of the Ridenour administration that he has not been able to actually do very good at picking the best people. All of these people on here are people that he appointed because he thought they were the best people. And in short order, they were not part of his administration any longer for one reason or another. And it just goes to show that he's not good at that. Now, I believe that Ryan asks questions and is good at getting to the bottom of answers and is good at things like that. I don't understand Ridenour putting himself on the board. I don't understand why the mayor of Muncie is such a control freak. He feels the need to put himself in everything, and I wish he would stop doing that. I wish he here's the deal. If Ridenour truly would start putting the best people in positions in these positions, he wouldn't be so afraid of delegating. But it's, I think, truly because he knows that he makes questionable decisions that he's like, oh, I need to have my hands on everything. And, he doesn't like to delegate because of that. Dan thinks he's the best. That's Dan. Yeah. Listen, I truly believe that. Stumblefoot, I absolutely have started believing that it's Dan feels that he's not obligated to tell anybody. It's that thing that I talked to you guys about, like the day, like a couple days before the end of the year, when I was talking about he's not a politician, so he's coming from the corporate world where he doesn't truly respect transparency. And I'm just saying, first of all, Charlize, the complaint was against Ridenhour, and so I want to make sure people are aware of that. Whether you agree with what she said or not, the complaint was with Ridenhour. And so that is that. Now I will say this. I hope that with Stephen Brand coming in and doing what he's doing, I'm really hoping that other elected officials will look at that and see that for what it is and be able to take from it and learn from it. I really hope that happens. I really hope that he's able to do that. So that's just, I think I was talking to someone today and they said, what's going to happen is one or two things going to happen. People are going to jump on the train or they're going to lay in front of the train trying to stop it. And they're not going to be able to stop it. And so that's the one good thing. They're just going to get ran over. And it's going to be interesting to see how many people get ran over before people realize this train's not stopping. So there's that. Okay, and then just lastly, whoops. What is that? Lastly, there we go. Why does that look so funky? Okay, lastly, I want to say that, as I said at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the episode, tomorrow is Wednesday, the 8th, and the Indiana General Assembly's 2025 session kicks off tomorrow. Tomorrow is the opening of the session, and it will run through April 29th. The session will run for the rest of January, February, March, and April. And I think right now they're only working like 2 days a week. So I want people to keep that in mind, that our state elected officials will be working 2 days a week, maybe 3 towards the end, for January, February, March, and April. And in about the second week of April, they'll be talking about wanting to wind it down, and they might wind it down early, and it'll be just basically like nothingness happening that last week and a half. I believe that. So they're going to be working on the budget this year. When they do the budget, they do a 2-year budget. So they'll work on the budget, put the budget through, and then that'll be in place for 2 years. So I fully believe that will be the majority of what goes on this year. And it's going to be so interesting to see what they do, I always say it wrong. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they don't do versus what they actually do, because I think that's going to be a really big thing. I think I just think it's going to be interesting to see what they don't do versus what they do. And of course, everybody is out here asking where the property tax bill's at. Where's our property tax bill? Ron, where's our property tax bill? Ron has a chance to look like a hero or be an absolute zero. He can be a 2-term governor, or he can be a 1-term governor. The choice is up to him. I think I know what is going to happen versus what's not going to happen. But we will see, and we'll go from there. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We've covered a lot of material. I will have some posts about all of this out on social media. Oh, and for the people that are sharing stuff, share the show tonight. That's fine. But I'm also going to cut a couple pieces out of this show and have little like, how do you call it? Like vignettes, or little just like 14, 15, 30-minute little sections of the show, so people don't have to watch everything to get just specifically what they're wanting. Like I'm going to cut out the Sproles deal. I'll probably cut out the deal about Bookout's email and all of that. So be looking for that. I'll share that all on social media. We will see you back here tomorrow. Space Cat's right. Board of Works meets tomorrow. Board of Works meets tomorrow. Muncie Sanitary District meets tomorrow. Henry County Commissioners meets tomorrow. And Henry County Council meets tomorrow. So Henry County Commissioners and Council both meet. The Commissioners meet at 11. The Council meets at 4:30. The Sanitary District meets at 11:30. And the Board of Works meets at 9. So we'll be taking a look at all of that tomorrow, and whatever else pops up. So you guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. We will see you back here tomorrow, as always, at 9 p.m. Eastern. Please hit the like, hit the bell, share the show, and do all of that. We will see you back here tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Good night and good